What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Dave Cave. I, as always, am Dave. Now today, we are talking Sony's anti-hero getting a lot of anti-hype. Let's see if he lives up to it. Today, we're talking Venom. Venom was directed by Ruben Fleischer, starring Tom Hardy, Riz Ahmed, and Michelle Williams. It follows the story of Eddie Brock, who is an investigative journalist living in San Francisco, used to live in New York, which I'm glad they touch on that a little bit. And basically, Eddie Brock is a guy that gets into the dirty places, goes where others won't, and brings down big assholes in the world, corporations and scummy guys like that. And is very good at his job, and the Life Foundation happens to pique his interest. And following a big crash that starts the movie, he's assigned by his job to go interview Carlton Drake and basically not do a fluff piece, but basically do a fluff piece of ask him about the rocket. We know you know shit, but don't go into shit. Ask him about the rocket, get in, get out, whatever. But that obviously isn't Eddie's game, and it goes from there. I honestly can say that this does not live up to the anti-hype. I very much enjoyed this movie. Seems to be a recurring theme that I'm liking a lot of movies recently that other people aren't really liking, which I'm fine with because that means I had a good time. Tom Hardy does really well, but you guys all know that he's a very good actor. The interplay between him and Venom is a lot of fun. I didn't even sweat this not being on there. You don't even think of it. And honestly, I didn't even think of Spider-Man once through the whole movie. This coming from someone who, when this movie was announced that it wasn't going to be part of the MCU, was very pissed off about that fact. But I can sit here honestly now and say that this didn't need Tom Holland. This didn't need Peter Parker. I think it did just fine on its own. That said, there are negatives that you can nitpick in this movie. There are two instances in particular. I'm not going to go into them because they're semi-spoilery, in that they give away part of a movie that you haven't seen yet. Nothing game-breaking. But if you're going to establish rules in a movie and norms, follow those norms. Follow those rules. Now, with the villain, we've all seen him in the trailers, Riot, and by extension, Carlton Drake. I liked Riot more than I liked Carlton Drake. I wanted to hate him more going in. I wanted to hate Carlton Drake more going in. But, not that I get him, but he is not malicious in what he does. What he does is heartless, and he doesn't give a shit about who he affects doing what he wants to do, because he is trying to save humanity. But the way he goes about it, that's what makes him heartless. But there are moments in this movie that you can tell that he's not a bad guy. He just doesn't have a heart, and because he doesn't have a heart, that allows him to do bad shit. I like that this movie tells a story, that it tries to at least. It doesn't just throw action at you. I mean, once the action starts, it goes. I mean, Venom goes, and it goes, and it goes, once it starts. But before it starts, it doesn't want you to ask why. Even little things. There was a little thing that in other movies they would have kind of like, whatever, and then they go, no, why? Okay, and I like that. There are 2 after credit scenes. We'll talk about those later with a spoiler alert, because I want to talk about those and a couple other things, but we'll talk about those. I liked the pacing of the movie. I had a good time. I will be buying it. I'll be buying it. I enjoy it that much. I will watch it again. It's fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but when it needs to take itself seriously, it takes itself seriously. There's some body horror aspects to it. You genuinely feel for Tom Hardy in this movie. He, as I said, he does a really good job, but you feel for him. He is a tragic character. Me personally, I was introduced to Eddie Brock in the Spider-Man animated series, and you just hated that guy because that guy was a dick. And then he got the Venom symbiote, and he was an even bigger dick, going after Spider-Man and Aunt May and all that stuff. But this Eddie, he is a good guy. I saw maybe 3 sentences, and all of them were saying that Venom doesn't know what it wants to do. Venom is a shit show. It's a waste of Tom Hardy's talent. No, it's not any of those things. It's very clear what it wants to do. They made it very clear, Sony has, that they want not a Venomverse, but like a dark MCU, their version of it, which I'm all for it. As of right now, we'll see where they go with it. In conclusion, go see it, have a good time, don't listen to any other negative bullshit. So that concludes my formal review of Venom, and now we're going to be talking some spoilers, because I got to get some thoughts out there. So here's your spoiler warning. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. She-Venom. That shit was awesome. I don't care that they kissed. They nailed her look. They nailed the look of Venom throughout the entire movie. I thought it was great. It was kind of obvious, because you can't list Woody Harrelson in a movie like this and then never show him in anything and not expect people to get that he's the after credits. That's after credits 1 is Cletus Cassidy. And they kind of hint at it in the movie, and I thought that was a nice little moment of, oh, I land the interview of a lifetime, and, you know, Eddie gets his life back and all this stuff. And I think Woody Harrelson's going to do real good as Carnage. I would have liked in that moment he says this one's a me thing, not a we thing, and I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. But I would have liked a moment where Venom was like, yeah, we don't like that guy. This guy's fucked up. Because that would have laid the groundwork for Venom and Carnage really not getting along, because he doesn't even like the dude. And then, if you ever want to kill the hype, this is how you do it. You play I didn't even time it, because I almost left in the middle of it, but I was hoping maybe Venom was going to show up and be in this Into the Spider-Verse movie, which in its own right looks fine, looks good, probably is going to be enjoyable. But why? You leave there thinking about this Into the Spider-Verse movie, and you shouldn't be. You should be thinking about, holy shit, we finally saw Cletus Cassidy on screen. We just watched Venom get his ass kicked by another symbiote. We saw Eddie Brock brought back the way he's supposed to be back. Venom the way he's supposed to be. We saw She-Venom. We saw a big-ass riot. We saw all this good shit. And now we're going to show you a cartoon so you think about this cartoon. Stupid as hell. Well, that's the end of my rant. What do you guys think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you have no idea where the hell I'm coming from, or do you completely agree? Comment below. Let me know your thoughts. This is Dave, signing off from the Dave Cave. Take care.